Hey everybody, this is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. And today I am sitting in our shed, our storage shed for our Asian grocery store, which we recently are setting up on our homestead. But I want to talk to you today about our plans for getting through the next months here on our homestead. Everybody knows we're looking at some troubling times ahead. There might be some financial hardships for many families, and we are hoping for the best and absolutely praying for the best. But at the same time, we are preparing for worst case scenario where finances get really, really tight. Now, what we're going to tell you should apply to most people everywhere to help you reduce your costs and get through some financial hardships. So, again, we hope and pray nothing changes. We really hope that everything will be okay, that we'll make it through just fine. But if things get really coming down hard, and we've got a mortgage, we've got to pay the mortgage, and everybody's got to pay the property tax. You've always got to pay that. Essentially, you don't really own much of anything in this world. We're all here just borrowing it. And stop paying your property tax and see how quick that you find that out. We're just allowed to use it. So anyway, you got to pay your bills. And so what we're looking at doing right now, we're not going out and buying a bunch of stuff. We are homesteaders and preppers first and foremost anyway. So we took stock of what we have on hand, and I'm not going to get into that very much because that's something just that we're going to keep private, what we have on hand. But those of you who have watched my videos through the years, especially my tactical and survival channel, you know that we're preppers, so we'll get by. Now, this is for some things that'll help a lot of people. We are considering, first of all, phones. We each have a phone. And when things get to be pretty tough on us financially, we've already set ourselves up to where we have prepaid phones. And we got rid of our phone contracts 3 years ago, 40, I don't remember. Almost 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, we cut all of our contract phones and went to prepaid. We've actually had the same service provider all this time, and the same phone numbers, which for us is a record. But anyway, so going to prepaid means you're month to month. If you have the money, you pay your phone. If you don't have the money, you don't pay your phone. There's no contract. There's no nobody coming down on your head. Nobody going to be knocking on your door if you can't pay your phone bill. If it's a prepaid, no big deal. If it gets down really tight for us, we're going to keep our phones and keep our phone numbers that we have, but we'll probably get a really, really cheap dollar store, just phone calling phone. Nothing super spectacular. And the bare minimum essentials of all, so that the biggest deal is Melanie to be able to communicate with her family back home. And we have to have that capability. So if she has a super cheap, bare minimum smartphone, then she'll be able to use the Wi-Fi at home to communicate with her family. And that is really, really important and valuable for her. So that's not something we cannot let go. Our internet, because we make a living online. This is our online store. We do hope that we'll continue making sales, especially since people are not going to be buying in the grocery stores as much. We do ship, so if you enjoy Asian foods, we've got snacks, we've got noodles, and we've got ramen type noodles. We've got, all the cooking sauces and seasonings and stuff, the Asian type stuff, a lot of fun snacks. If you enjoy that, we're still going to continue shipping so you can get it shipped to your home. Because of that, we have to keep the internet. That's for us. Well, most of you, the internet is non-essential, and you'll probably be dropping it. The internet for us is our where we get our income. So I'll continue making videos, and I don't know what's going to happen with that. I have no idea where that's going right now. And I still work on DIY Tube and still hope one day that'll take off. And everything else that we do pretty much is not going to be profitable right now. So with things slowing down, shopping slowing down, our other source of income are coming to a standstill. Like, who's going to buy a birdhouse right now? Who's going to buy handcrafted jewelry right now? It's really going to be non-essential for most families right now, so that's grinding to a halt. Actually, it's pretty much any excess shopping is pretty much come to a halt, and we're seeing it already. We are absolutely seeing it already. So the internet is one that we're going to keep, but the car now, we could always let our insurance go on our car and cut an extremely large portion of our monthly bills right there and park it. Now, people say, what if there's an emergency? Well, if there is an emergency, you're going to take what you got and get to town in a hurry if you have an emergency. But generally, if there is an emergency, you call 911 and you have them come and get you. I mean, everybody always says, yeah, what if there's an emergency? Well, then you call for help. That's what everybody does in an emergency. But, if they can't get here in time or they're not able to, then my insurance is a phone call away. By the time Melanie was packing up Michelle and getting her in the car, I could have insurance turned on and run us to town in an emergency. So that's not a reason to keep paying your insurance. So that's a big deal. That's a big expense for us. We're going to get our bicycles out, and we're going to get ourselves in shape riding around the area, getting ourselves fit, which will also build up our immune system and our health and our strength, which is a bonus on the side. And we're going to start getting ourselves ready for the 7-mile bike ride into town if we need to. I also have coming up probably, it's going to be some crossovers between my 3 channels. But my electronics channel, I'm going to start working on an electronic bike, an e-bike, that I can use to get to town and back. But, it's for my electronics channel. I'm going to use some lithium-ion flashlight type batteries and replace the dead lead-acid batteries on some bikes I bought 2 years ago at a garage sale for next to nothing. Those electronic sit-down kids bikes, well, these are larger, so we could actually ride them to town if we needed. And that'll be another thing. A way to cut costs is by getting rid of the vehicle. No gas, no need for paying for gas to drive 7 miles and back. That adds up a lot. The Jeep burns some gas. The Jeep burns a gallon of gas for us to go to town and back. That's, when you're saving money, that's a lot. So that's another expense. Now, another thing that a lot of you guys can do to cut costs at home is to cut your electric bill as much as possible. Now, fortunately we have solar power, but for those of you who don't, you can shut off if you have a electric water heater. Shut it off when you're not using it. Take showers every second day or so, or less. It's up to whatever you feel you need. Turn on the hot water heater, have your shower, and turn it off. That's an option for people with electric hot water. We shut off all extra pilot lights on propane appliances to help conserve propane. So that if and when we need it, it's there for us. So there's no pilot lights running, wasting propane. It's minimal, it's not a lot, but it can save you in the long run if finances get tight. Shutting off your lights and reducing the need for reheating foods like microwave. That's a big power hungry thing in most homes. Not us, but we don't even have a microwave. But reducing your electrical expense, reducing how much you use electricity. And some of you have an electric-only stove. There's nothing you can do about it, but you can cut down how much you have to use it. When the sun's shining, we can brew a pot of coffee, an electric coffee maker, on solar power, and then I'll drink it cold later on. It doesn't bother me at all. Melanie, she doesn't like it cold, but we can heat it up on the wood stove. There's options that you can consider. But then all the bulk of the energy consumption is done in peak sunlight. Brew the pot of coffee, let it sit there all day long, off of course, and then you can reheat it in whatever way is convenient. With propane or portable, survival stove using a handful of twigs. Reduce your power usage, cut power costs. That's going to save you a lot on the bills moving forward. That's how we're going to cut some costs. We have the grid as a backup. We pay the grid, and for various reasons, as we talked about not long ago. But we don't have to use it at all. And we're going to keep the connection. We're going to pay the monthly cost, the bare minimum monthly cost, but we're not going to use anything we don't have to. We're getting into brighter sunlight periods, longer peak sunlight hours, so we've got power to burn on most days, so we're good now. So that's another thing where you can cut your electric costs. Cooking more at home. A lot of people now are going to be forced into this, cooking at home. Because we had been running our store in Gaylord, Michigan, 45 minutes to an hour one way from home, we weren't home much anymore. And it was rush, 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 go, go, go. Breakfast, I usually ate at the store. Lunch, I usually ate at the store. Now, we weren't a fast food family, but we did buy commercial bought bread, slap together some sandwiches, and have it for lunch, and that's not a healthy lunch. So actually, the coming period we're going through is going to be healthier for us, for our family, because we're going to be baking more at home, cooking more at home, processing our own foods. And that is so much better for you anyway, so much better. Which leads me to another way we're going to cut costs on our food. When we get some extra money for it, we don't have it right now, but when we get some extra money for it, we're both going to get fishing licenses again. And right now you can't fish anyway. We're in that in-between period where there's ice on the lake, but it's too dangerous to walk on, so you can't really fish right now in most areas. And the lakes and ponds that we fish anyway, the fish are dormant for a little bit longer. But we will be fishing for food quite a bit this year, as needed. We were thinking about getting chickens, but right now it's just too much of a big question mark whether we'll be able to afford the chicken food. And it's non-essential. It is not a necessity for survival. Eggs are great, and it'd be good to have eggs, but if we can't afford to take care of the chickens, we're in northern Michigan. There's snow on the ground. There's no natural resources for us, and we didn't stock up for chickens ahead of time. So we can't be doing that. We can't have chickens. So unless things turn around for us here soon, I don't see chickens in our near future. Not this year. It's just not going to be an option. Which is sad because that was one of our plans on the list of things to do this year, is to get more birds for eggs and for meat. But, when you can go out in the forest, and I hope this doesn't sound too extreme for some people, but you got to eat meat. You can go out into the forest during legal hunting seasons, and you can get yourself something to eat, whatever's in season. And I wasn't into small game hunting before, but now we're probably going to be into small game hunting. You can eat chipmunks, and you can eat squirrels, and you can eat rabbits. They're everywhere out here. They're plentiful. Right now, I don't know where the coyote population went, but the rabbits are everywhere. And you can be pretty sure they're going to be found in our dinner pot here pretty soon. I've got to check the regulations on hunting and the seasons and what we can get, but we are going to comply with the law. But I've got a small game license, and I aim to use it for whatever we can. We're going to start growing some vegetables. I'm looking at what we can grow. High, quick turnover, quick growth Radishes take 30 days, you know. Right now we have food on hand, but fresh fruits and vegetables, who knows what it's going to look like in a while, and who knows what our finances are going to look like next month. So we're going to become more self-sufficient on the fruits and on the vegetables as much as we can. So I was talking to Melanie today about our little greenhouse. If I knock those windows off the roof, which I never finished because I'm going to swap them out, different story for another day. I'm going to swap them out, but I can cover that roof of that greenhouse with plastic sheeting. Staple it down, put some boards over it to keep it from ripping. And I do believe that we can start vegetables out there even now, cold hardy vegetables. Lettuce and kale and spinach and radishes. Radishes will grow fast. And we can start having fresh leafy vegetables within 30 days. And that's going to be important for us. So anybody can do that in your window, in your house, to get some extra vitamins. So these are things I'm talking about that should be able to help anyone and everyone to start cutting some of their costs. Reduce anything extra. Obviously nobody's going to a restaurant. They're shutting them down, so nobody's going to a restaurant, so that's a cost that most people won't have right now. Most of your extra spending money, your costs that most families have out there for the extra money, is gone. So let's just take it out of the equation for you. Pretty much that's our plans for now. Cutting phones. I'm also cutting down all my access servers. I used to have 30, 40 different websites, and now I'm down to maybe 5, 6. I'm cutting out everything non-essential. Just getting rid of everything non-essential. And getting rid of excess costs. Getting rid of the car is an option. Not getting rid of, but parking the car for a while. That's an option to consider. Do obey your local laws, your local government and state laws. If you do deregister or park your car, make sure you do it properly and legally. I don't know where you live or what your regulations are like, but do keep gas on hand in case of emergency. That's an important thing. Gas is dirt cheap right now, so go ahead and get some. It lasts a good 6 months if you keep it in a cool place, like in your garage floor, in a safe, legal, what do you call it, accepted, whatever you call it, legal container. So anyway, that's pretty much how we're going to head into this. By the way, I'm going to be amping up all my channels anyway. That was my plan anyway. So check out the Do-It-Yourself World Electronics, and I'll put the link down below, and TR Tech Tactical and Survival. I'm going to be doing especially a lot of survival videos recently, and preparedness, and how to, basically I'm going to start having some pine needle tea. Pine trees are in abundance out here, and the Native Americans lived on pine trees in extreme harsh winter times. You can eat the inner tree bark, and you can eat the needles. You can have pine needle tea. There's a lot of nutrients in a pine tree, just for one example out of many that we are surrounded with here in abundance. So that'll keep you from getting scurvy and getting ill, and it'll keep you healthy. It'll keep you going. So check out my other channels. The electronics, I'm going to be doing a lot of experiments on things that you can do to help save money, like the e-bike, the electrical bike. I'm going to be doing that project using my 18650 batteries, and see if we can get that going when I can get to it. It's under 18 inches of snow back there right now, so I can't even get to it. But yeah, anyway, once I can get it out or break a path to it, then I'll be able to start working on that project. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff going to be going on. We are in the Homestead full-time again. The store is closed, and we are online only with local delivery if you live in the neighborhood, or shipping to your door. So check it out, guys. SariSariShop.org, SARI shop.org, and get your food delivered to you, especially in this period. Although we don't have anything wrong with us, we do wash our hands thoroughly before we touch anything, just for your convenience, and just show respect to our customers. All right, guys, that's pretty much how we're going to head into this. Hoping, praying for the best, planning for the worst, and see what comes. I hope this does help some people, and get what you need right now. Don't go out and go crazy, but get what you need right now and get it put in. I'm thinking 3 to 6 months. I'm not scared or stressed or worried. We're in the country. Nothing's going to happen, but I do expect at least 3 and up to 6 months. So plan for that, and God watch over all of you. It's Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project, and stay tuned for exciting homesteading videos. We're here. We're back. We're full-time. Talk to you later.